How's everybody doing? This is Tank and Trucker. Today we're going to do a review of the new rheinmetall Scorpion G. It is a new premium tank destroyer out, and it is very popular. It has the best gun that's at a tier 8. Does actually has a tier 8. It's a tier 8 tank destroyer with a tier 9 gun. It's phenomenal. I love this thing. A lot of people like it. Obviously, most people have seen on both teams on average between 5 and 8 of these on each team. It's a great tank destroyer. It looks cool. Got Scorpion paint job, so you can't add any camo to it if you do buy it. Very popular. We'll start with doing just a review, start from the gun, work our way down. And obviously with this TD, the gun is where it shines. Your average penetration is 246 standard, 311 with your premium round, which is APCR. Thank goodness. 65 penetration with your HE. Average damage with your standard and your APCR is 490. Average damage with your HE is 630. And if you hit another Scorpion with a 65 penetrating round of HE, you will probably do close to full 630 damage, average damage, because these have no armor. The rate of fire on this is not the best in the world. Reload on it is 11 seconds. Average damage per minute is 2,678, which is actually pretty good. Now mine, I've got the crew that I used from another tank to bump it up, but obviously this guy right here, got to work on him. And the way I set it up, because it's an open top, so you can't use vents, so I used nods for that. So I got a gun rammer, gun lane drive, and binocular telescopes. And your gun traverse is 18.77. It's pretty slow, moving left and right if you're setting still. So if you get another tank, a light tank that's going to try circle of deathing you, then you're going to have to move your turret and your hull at the same time, because that you might be able to keep up with something, no problem. But if you just try spinning your turret, that's not going to happen. You will get tore up. Gun depression elevation is -7, +14. So yeah, you'll be able to do ridge lines a little bit, which is nice. Aim time for me, but that's with working on a third cruise skill and with the gun lane drive. My aim time is 1.83 seconds. Dispersion on this is phenomenal, 0.29. It's very accurate, which is great, because this gun, when you hit something and you're knocking an average of 490 off, it's nice to have that accuracy, because you will just nail stuff. And that comes into effect because you got 1,150 hit points and no armor. 30 front, 16 side, 20 rear. So you're going to want to stay in the back in a bush. You could choose between your binocular telescopes or a camo net. I prefer the nods, because that way I get a better distance and I can get shots off on them before they can even see me. Whereas if you don't have the binocular telescopes and you have a camo net, as soon as you shoot, the camo net's gone anyways, and they're already close enough to see you. So I prefer to have that distance where I get shots. If I can get a shot or two off before I'm even spotted at 400, 500 almost damage per hit. A lot of tanks that are tier 6 and 7, which are going to see you, and you will see 10s with this. It doesn't get preferential matchmaking. I mean, you can pretty much decimate anything that's a smaller tier and take them out in a hit or two. So having that extra view range really helps out immensely. Mobility, this thing, it reminds me of the Girl 15, because you got a gun that does really good damage, good penetration, and this thing hauls. It is fast. It's pretty light. You got a 650 horsepower motor, so your specific power to weight ratio is 16.76. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it will get up to 60 kilometers an hour, and it'll get up to it pretty quick. 20 kilometers an hour in reverse. Traverse speed is 33.94. So like I said, if you want to move quick to the left or right, you're going to have to move both your turret and your hull at the same time, which that'll scoot you around pretty quick. And then your concealment set still is 11.6. And then You know, if you add your camo net to that and your crew skills work you up even higher, you know, that'll help out quite a bit there. And it says your view range is 367 now. I don't know, with the mod pack that I used to have, that would show what it was without and once your nods were engaged, and then you could see, you know, your full distance basically. But unfortunately, without mods still, which I put them on yesterday, tried them, and sure enough, it did the same thing. It just keeps messing my game up, so I took them right back off. And all I tried having, I shut XVM, didn't even put XVM on. All I had were a few basic things, and it still messed it up. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys are all having the same kind of issues I am, but it's to the point right now where I'm not even going to waste my time installing them because it just doesn't work. And I do really miss a couple of the mods. I like to know where they're hitting me. That was one of them that I turned on, is shows where they're shooting me, and where, you know, obviously when I'm shooting them, so you can see exactly where you're hitting them. But can't get them to work, unfortunately. So anyways, let's take this rascal out and see what we can do. It's a pretty good map for this. Not the best matchmaking for this, being that we're in a tier 8, tier 10 matches, and there's some heavy hitters too. There's some, I mean, there's a couple tanks there. They hit you, you're gonna 2 hits and you're dead. They hit you with an HE shell that can knock you out in 1 shot. But I am gonna try, and I'm just gonna use APCR right off the bat. This thing does make really good money. But I want to just make sure that when I hit some of these things right off the bat that I'm actually penetrating them, because I don't want any bounces, especially being that I'm in a, you know, something that's really low on the totem pole, and it doesn't take a whole lot to knock this thing out. So I want to try and make sure all my shots count. So I am going to use premium rounds right off the bat. We'll try and get up here into a decent area where we can hopefully, they get spotted, and just hopefully tear them up. Let's move forward a little more here. Okay, but our nods kick on here. Nods are kicked on, but whatever's back there's still too far back for me to even hit it. Or see it, I mean. There we go. Didn't scratch him, but I took his track off, and these guys didn't take an opportunity to do anything to him. I don't know if that IS-3 can even see me, but I can definitely see him. Oh! That was a crap shot on my part. Boy, oh boy, that was just a... Good, they shut that IS-3 down. Come on. Jeez, oh Pete's, I'm not having luck on hitting these guys and penning them, and that's an IS-3. Knock the M103's track off, of course, you know. Come on, get loaded. Hit him in the upper plate. Boy, I'm just having no luck on penning stuff. Wow. Try taking his track back off. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. There we go. Oop, he sees me. That's definitely. Definitely can see me. Oop, I'm spotted. Time for me to back up. And this is what I was talking about by you don't want to get hit with this thing because I am going to be dead. So basically on that match, I think I only penned about 3 things, and that was using premium rounds. But the distance and where I was hitting them, eh, you're going to bounce, I mean, at that distance. But took 3 shots to knock me out. It was boom, boom, dead. So obviously you can see that the camo rating on this looked like it was holding them. I don't know if they were aiming at me. A lot of times it kind of looked like they were, but I wasn't going to risk it by sitting there and waiting for them to shoot me. But took 3 shots to knock me out. 1100, not even 1100 hit points there. It goes by pretty darn fast. And unfortunately, I did bounce a lot of rounds. Like that M103, I bounced some rounds on him that I really, not in a million years, thought were going to bounce. The IS-3, the way he was pulling out, I kind of thought I was going to be able to pen him no problem, and it was bouncing. But that's why I was using straight premium rounds on this, just due to the fact that I wanted to hopefully penetrate when I hit something. But when I was hitting the stuff, just still wasn't even penetrating. But we pretty much got owned on that match. But I'm not going to sit here and say, don't buy it, it's a piece of crap because I didn't pen anything. No, it's just the distance I was at. I mean, I just wasn't penning stuff because probably the distance and where I was hitting. Yeah, M103 hit him for 522, and the IS3 hit him for 490. Average damage on this is 490. Hit him right on the average damage. But on the M103, hit him for 522. So basically, I had 10 shots. I hit 9 times, so I hit him 9 times and only penned 2. Did 1,012 damage. So definitely not the best match in the world. But all 2 of my shots, and I'm, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6 highest in damage on our team. We had some that just, LTTB, he went up there scouting. He did his job, but unfortunately when he got up there, he didn't have much of a backup or help, so he just pretty much got owned. They had a better team, and they just strolled right over us like taking candies from a baby. But I mean, I guess for what happened there, I guess I'm happy I did that much damage. So, but 10 shots, 9 hit, 2 pen, 1,012 damage. Took 4 shots to knock me out. I thought it was 3, but it was actually 4. And they all pen you. I mean, obviously nothing's gonna bounce off that. Do I recommend buying it? Oh yeah, I definitely, highly do. It is really a good tank story. The gun is really good. That's just, well, like I said, where the distance from what I was shooting at stuff and what angles I was hitting it just wasn't penning. So, it's going to happen. It depends on what come around the corner. It could have been some softer targets to hit. But, they were angled really well, and it's just they got dug in there pretty good. And when they come around, they just weren't able to pen them. So it's going to happen. But like I said, I really do highly recommend getting this. A lot of people really like it. I like it. I love it. It's a fun tank story to play. More than likely what I should have done, instead of sitting there putting round and round after round after round into stuff that I just wasn't penning, I probably should have changed the flank that I was on and went somewhere else, or just moved in general and saw some softer targets or whatnot. But I was just trying to help hold those guys off from coming around the corner, because I know when I'm on that corner, if I'm getting hit by rounds, I'm not going to just come flying around that corner all the way, because that means there's some stuff down there, and it's going to hurt when you get hit. But well, I hope this video helped you. I mean, obviously it was more of one of the crappier games that I've had, but like I said, I don't sugarcoat any of the games that I do. I don't sit here and play it 10 or 11 times till I get a 5,000 damage game, like some people do, to make it look like they're all that in a bag of chips and the best players in the world. I show you what happens is what happens. I'm not going to sit here and record 25 times to give you a 5,000 damage game and, and 10 kills. I go out there, and if I get 10 kills and 5,000 damage, great. But if just like this match happened, I penetrate 2 rounds and get my ass whooped, well, hey, that's what happens. That's the real life of World of Tanks. Not every match is going to be great. So, Anyways, I hope this video review of the Scorpion rheinmetall G tank destroyer helps. It is. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite tank destroyers in the game so far. It is really good. So, anyways, this is Tank and Trucker. I hope everybody out there has a great day, and I'll see you on the battlefield.